Live from the studios of KMBY Television in Monterey, California, it's Monterey On Tonight.
Did you see a little grin right there at the end? She actually looked a little bit like Elvis. She had that kind of that grin. I don't know whether you saw it. What happened?
The whole collar came up.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
This is my second hour guest. He's the guy
All
that
right,
used
there
to...
it is.
There, you look great. He's the guy that used to drive this bus. Rachel, we got a picture of the bus. We used to see this on the streets of Monterey and Carmel and Pacific Grove and Pebble Beach. And the guy inside driving this bus is this guy sitting right next to me. And we met when I got here, Juliana and I, on the Monterey Peninsula 21 years ago. And you and I met, Doug.
I remember.
Do you remember the board meeting of the Monterey Film Commission?
Yep, I do.
And he introduced himself, and we've been friends ever since. And when COVID hit, I was so sad that he had to close down the bus business.
I closed it down only for about 2 years, but I restarted it.
You did?
Which was a mistake, and I knew it might be, and that it cost a lot of money to start up again, and of course no one wanted to get on a bus.
They were afraid.
And I knew what was going to happen, but sometimes you have to do something like that.
Well, you got to do it. It was a passion for you.
Yes. It might have started off again, and I've been
The Monterey movie tours, Doug, was such a great thing.
It was fun. It was fun.
See?
I still think about it. I still miss it. I still get calls about it, and that's when you really go, oh, I wish I was still
I'm saying goodbye to those ticket sales. These people want to go do something when they come to the Monterey Peninsula because we don't have any really tours of this peninsula. So your tour was the only one.
Yeah.
Right?
Get another bus. Here we go.
Yeah, and you met people from all over the world.
Yeah,
and that was the other good part for you.
Monterey Peninsula is a bucket list place for a lot of people from around the world to come. Carmel, Pebble Beach, everywhere.
But this man, a dear friend, and the reason I had Philip on at the beginning of the show tonight is Doug confided in me that he is in the early stages now of Alzheimer's. And he gave me some...
I'm going to laugh about that.
You have to laugh about it.
And don't anyone listening right now or watching this, don't go, oh, too bad. It's not.
No.
I'll tell you why.
And I've got some questions, so I'm going to fire him off because he's the one that came up with them. So listen carefully. What was the first small change in memory slip that made you feel something was wrong?
Well, can I start a little bit earlier?
Yeah, please do.
Back in 2017, my sister died of Alzheimer's, and it was a shock, and she died very, very quickly, only about 3 months after being diagnosed. And it turns out that really she had had it for a long time, and they did not take her to a doctor. And that's why I've been so proactive ever since I found out about 8 months ago that I have it. And quite frankly, after that happened, it was a shock. It was just myself and my sister left, and that was the last family member that I had. And you can imagine how that is, especially when you're not aware that this is going to happen. So after that happened, I really knew that my chances of getting Alzheimer's were going to be much, much higher.
Yeah.
And so I started to look into it and started to read articles about it for several years. And she died at 72 and a half. I was 70 at the time. And it wasn't until about when I was about 78 that things started to happen. And those things were, I was finding the lettuce in the bread box, like we all do, I guess, sometimes. And of course, the key thing I couldn't find anything at times for some days. And missing appointments, forgetting about an event that I was supposed to go to, that you could always remember.
You always remember that stuff.
Remember
and
those.
All of a sudden now those memories are not there anymore. What made you decide to go to a doctor? How did that
Several
happen?
things happened within about a 3-month period, and I said, okay, I'm going. And one of them was, one of the signs of Alzheimer's is trouble with language and speaking. And I was speaking at the tap room at the Lodge of Pebble Beach, one of my favorite places to go and meet a lot of the regulars there. And a lot of people come, kind of a bucket list thing to go to Pebble Beach and play golf. And so I was talking to them, and they were staying at the Intercontinental Hotel. And I just looked at him. I said, "Oh, well, great." And when I said Intercontinental, it just came out garbled. It just was nothing. It was just a bunch of blah blah, and I shocked me. And
You realized what had happened.
Yeah, and it was kind of busy. They thought I had just said something they didn't understand. So I said it again, and it came out the same way again.
Oh, my goodness.
And then finally I just said, "Oh, let's just move on and stuff." And we finished. I was fine. And later on I just said, and the word was Intercontinental. And ever since then, it's never happened again.
Really
I
weird.
started to think, gosh, is this going to happen now every day? Something word. It never has.
How did
but
you?
that was the thing, because that's a sign.
How did you tell your close friends and family that this was happening?
Well, I did. And everyone, usually what everyone says, if you have not been diagnosed yet, usually people say, "Oh, I have the same thing," and stuff, and it's just getting old and stuff. And I've always felt like that. But having my sister dying, I really thought, okay, this is something now I should take very, very seriously. I went to my primary care doctor, and that's your first step. And I think Phil, who was on with you a little bit earlier this evening, who's with the Alzheimer's Association, he said the same thing. Be proactive.
Yeah, do something about it.
Don't be scared of what you're going to hear, because a lot of times it really isn't anything.
Yeah.
But I went to my doctor, he gave me a few tests, and I did really good on the tests. I was very functional, but I brought a list of things that had bothered me for the last 2 to 3 years. Every time something did, I had a little notebook. I'd write it down. I did this today. I did that today, and I had the date. And when I went to the primary care doctor, I aced the test kind of, but I gave him that, and by that information, after reading it, they said, "We're sending you to our neurology department." And that's where the whole thing started. And it took about 3.5 months. They don't ever say you have Alzheimer's quickly.
It happens slowly.
Yes. I went through several tests, MRI, EGG, and what's called a PET scan, where they put a IV in you and they have a radioactive tracer. It goes intravenous, and it goes to your brain, and that tracer searches out what's called the amyloid protein. I think it's amyloid protein. And that's a protein that you have to have in your brain that develops a plaque over your brain. It's not a good thing for it. And if you have that, it doesn't mean you necessarily have Alzheimer's, but that's one of the markers.
The markers.
They have 7 or 8 markers that they all look at, and they all have to say that you've got it for them to say you have Alzheimer's.
What do you do now, Doug, to stay calm and keep your daily routine on hard days? Do you have a routine now?
I do, and I think one of the things, though, you think about first, like, okay, I was diagnosed with it, and the first thing it crosses your mind is, how am I going to tell friends about this? Am I going to tell my friends? Am I just going to kind of hide it because they can't tell I have anything right now? I'm very, very functional, and I still am.
You're in the early stages.
What they diagnosed was mild cognizant impairment.
That's what they call it.
And they said at the end that you're on the Alzheimer continuum, which means it's the second stage of Alzheimer's, and the third stage will be dementia. And I do take pills. I take one in the morning and at night.
Is that helping you? The prescriptions?
I think it is, although the pill I took, because they don't really have a pill for mild, for what I have, mild cognitive problem. So they gave me the one that is for moderate or severe. And it's approved by the FDA only for moderate and severe, not mild. But the doctors have the ability to go what they call off-label and say, I still think this pill could help him, because I think he's kind of halfway through mild, maybe getting to severe. And so they did it. And there's always after effects with all pills that you're going to get. And my after effects, it took about 3 weeks for my body to adjust, and it did. And now when I take the pill, I mean, there's nothing different. I feel just like I did before. And And so that's a good thing, and I'm going to continue taking it. Although I went to a second opinion in Stanford, a Stanford doctor, and they said, you don't have to take that pill. But I went back to my neurologist here, and they said you don't have to take it because it's shown to be not effective in the mild stage. But every night now I go on the internet for about an hour just to look at new
Something new
things
that's coming
that come
down
out,
the pike.
something new, or something just came down in the research. And I just found one after that doctor told me that said a doctor said we took some people off of it because now we figured out it was more mild, but their symptoms started to go faster. The disease started to go faster. And so they said, we're not quite sure. We don't have a big enough number of people to test. But it could very well be that some people are affected with those pills, even though they're mild. This is how it works. It takes years for them to nail it all down, but they've been working 20 years on it. Every well-known country, every large country, every democratic country has been working on this. And that's because their citizens in their country are having trouble with it. And it hurts everything. People can't work anymore if they go on and on with dementia, and they get severe, and that hurts their society. So all these people, not just the United States and Canada, and Russia has done a lot of work on it because they have a big problem with it.
Really?
And they all get together and they write a lot of the new information about what the tests have shown or all the research. And it's going to keep going on. And they really feel in the next 5 years that they're going to have a cure. Because what's out now, just when I take the pills, it supposedly is slowing it down, so you have more time.
More time.
And I got it late. My sister had it early. I got it late, which means that I'm turning 80 next year, and that's
God
a
bless
good
you.
thing because I'll probably be at least another couple of years in the mild or more. In fact, they say there's times when some people just stay at this place. They stay in the
plateau.
mild, and it never goes any further the rest of their life.
I hope that
So I
happens
didn't know
to
I'd
you.
make it to 80, and that's next year. So it's nothing to be afraid of like that, Just make sure if you have a family member or you have a problem and you're listening to this tonight or watching it, just be proactive. Go to your doctor. Talk about the problems. Make a list of things that have been bothering you. Go in, take a few tests. Nothing is going to hurt you. It doesn't. And it could very well be that they'll say, we don't think you really have anything. And by the way, there's a new blood test. There's a blood test that you can take for this protein that could be in your brain. But interestingly, if it tests positive, it doesn't mean you absolutely have it. You'll go through all these other tests to make sure, because some people have this protein in the brain and they never get Alzheimer's. I had a lot of it in my brain, and
And they call it plaque?
it's amyloid protein, which develops plaque in your brain. And they're hopeful that what they're going to find someday a way is to take pills to dissolve the plaque, and then it flushes out of your blood.
Wow.
And that'll be a good day when it happens. They don't know when, but everyone, the people at Stanford and the people here locally, both very good. They both said that they're working on it, and they think this stuff is coming down all the time for treatment now. So just the worst thing the person could do is just say, well, I'm not sure, I don't think I have it and stuff.
Just forget
go
about
in.
it. No,
just
you
go
need
in.
to be proactive.
Absolutely. And if you're 65 and older, Medicare takes care of all of it. And it's expensive. They take care of all of it.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Because you are now in the situation you are, would you lend your time to someone that may want to speak with you about this? Would that help them and you?
I've had a couple of people call me, but I'd rather have them do is to contact their doctor.
Okay.
And do that. I'm not a doctor at all. I'm just a person who has Alzheimer's. One other thing I would like to say.
Sure.
The things that all the doctors have said, in the interim, I have the mild case of it. And they'd say this to people who are in moderate stage. Stay as social as you can.
Yeah.
Now, that's a nice thing. A lot of times they say, in other diseases, you have to be quiet and calm, watch TV or something. No,
Yeah.
they want you to go out in public. They want you to talk to people, which makes sense. It activates the brain. It keeps it going.
Yeah.
So stay social. Go to all of the things you do with your friends.
Keep moving.
If you meet for dinner every Friday night, you just keep going. Walk a lot. Do whatever you can do.
Yeah.
You can do chair exercises. Keep doing that. Get sleep at night. Try to go to sleep a little bit earlier, and have a good diet. I think Phil mentioned all these things before.
he did.
And the diet, they just say you absolutely cannot have this. They just say do it moderately and stuff. And I had to give up some bacon, only because I felt like I could. But if they said if you're doing 2, then eat 1.
Okay.
You know, and I mean they're very good about it because you still want to enjoy life.
Absolutely.
And and I don't drink that much, but they don't like you to drink a lot, so I drink Coors Light.
Coors Light.
That's an ad for life. We should do on.
We're going to send
And
them a
that's
bill.
what I do when I'm watching a ball game with guys or something, and maybe even 2. And they said, "Hey, if you're going to do something, there's not much alcohol in it."
And this
so-
guy's favorite hangout. If you go over to the tap room at the lodge at Pebble Beach,
My whole family is there.
You're-
Really, I don't have
you-
any family left. so
you
that-
have family there.
We all
they
have
all
places like
love
that,
you,
right,
Doug.
guys? Out there, we
they
all
love
have
you.
that.
They love you.
Cheers place and stuff.
Yeah,
and,
that's what it is.
yeah,
Thank you
you're
for
like
being
that.
here tonight.
Oh, you're
my
welcome.
Good friend.
Thank
from-
you for asking
from
me.
many, many years. And we're going to keep the folks out there in TV land up to date on what's happening to this guy. Wonderful
Oh,
man.
can I say one more thing? Jerry?
Sure, absolutely.
The last thing I would just like to say is, your friends go through this too. When you tell them you have Alzheimer's, what you always hear from everyone is, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." I said, "No, don't be sorry. I'm fine.
Yeah.
They have things. I'm taking treatment for it and everything, so don't be." But never lose your sense of humor. And in this, I mean, now I have people, when I see them almost every day and stuff, they come up, "Well, what's my name?" And their name is Pete, and I say, "Well, it's Joe, right?" We have jokes about it and stuff, and they have jokes. It makes them happy. But when you laugh, it makes them feel better about everything, so they can laugh and make fun of stuff, and it's all okay. So keep your sense of humor.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
All right.
Thank you, my friend.
bet. You bet.
Don't go
Okay,
anywhere.
I'm ready to go.
You're not ready to leave.
Okay.
We're going to go watch some more Britney Spears.
Oh.
Then we're going to bring in the sugar science lady,
I thought you
Sharon
were-
Rundy, and you've met her out in the green room.
I thought you were going to say you're going to bring in Brittany.
Well, I don't know where Britney is, or I try to bring her in. Sharon Rundy's going to be here with all
I
the
met her.
good. You did.
Oh,
did you see the goodies she brought us for
She
tonight?
had a peanut butter pie.
Oh, I
And
can't
cream.
wait. I can't wait. All right,
And-
back to Britney. Thank you, Doug.
Thank you, Gary.